A lot of you are already here in Paris, and some of you are planning to come soon or during the summer. Is gonna be the peak season, right? So Paris is gonna be full, and there is some behavior to avoid, like some habits. And I know, I get it. Coming here for a few days is never easy to change your habits, your pattern, but you have to know some little bit rules to avoid big problems, right? So, like I said, there is at least uh, five things to avoid, because like most of you think like it's the same laws and rules in France, but it's totally different from US. For example, any police officer can ask you to open your bag, right? There is no uh, Fourth Amendment. There is no amendment here at all. So any police officer can ask you to open your bag to check at any time. All right. So no search and seizure here. They also can ask you your ID for no reason. There is no reasonable applicable suspicion to ask you that. They can do that at any time for no reason. Of course, I told you last time to don't bring your passport with you. What you can do is upload, scan your passport on your phone, and it's enough. They just need your name, date of birth, blah blah blah. Um, Also, it happened to me when I was police officer here, and it's a huge one. I know in US there is the freedom of speech, right? France is a democratic country, right? But you have to know you cannot insult any official, mostly any officer. It happened to us, to me and my team. One time we were patrolling close to, I think it was Arc de Triomphe, and it was an American. And one of my colleagues went to him because he looked like lost. And then the guy wasn't like, I think he was like, I forgot the exactly, but if I remember, he was like under the influence. So he ended insulting my colleague. All right, so we almost arrested him, and I like I stopped my colleague and I said, hey, listen, he's just American. He doesn't know how it works here, and they have like in America they have the right to insult officer. So yeah, this is something you cannot do here. Otherwise, you are facing charges and sometimes jail, and you're facing also like the fact that you will never be able to come back in France. One more very important things to avoid, it's engaging aggressively with the vendors. You're gonna see there is like a, I don't know, there is no vendors today here in the area. So those guys who basically selling um, water, drinks, souvenir like that. And again, one day I was off duty and I saw this guy with his girl, and they were walking around a monument, like around the Sacré-Cœur, right? And the vendor came to him, and the guy was very aggressive. Like the guy, he was huge. He could like beat him, but you cannot do this. You cannot beat a guy just because he's trying to like sell you like a souvenir. And also don't forget, you might see just one guy, but there are plenty of them. So if you fight with one, you're gonna fight at least with 100 of them, and you don't want to do that, right? Also, there is like a specific things here in Paris. I would say like not of all Parisians because I'm Parisian too, but like some of them, they kind of like very, they can be aggressive. So don't try to look at them, because for them they're gonna take it like you kind of provoking them just by looking at them. So don't like um, look at someone for too long. Okay. uh, Also, good one, if you go to the restaurant or any kind of business, you have to take off this mentality of your mind that you think um, you know uh, customer is the king, because here they don't really apply the same customer service that in US. For example, I know sometimes you can go to the restaurant and ask for food, and you try it, you eat half of it, and then you go back to the manager and say, hey, I'm not gonna pay for that because I don't like it. So here you will be in the obligation to pay whatever you eat, whatever you drink, except if like there is something wrong with the food. All right, but if it's just because you don't like it, it doesn't work. Unfortunately, you will have to pay for it. Also, like there is French people, they have kind of like polite rules. So if you're skipping basic politeness, just like say bonjour, or even in English like hi, please, stuff like that. Trust me, you're gonna have a hard time with uh, any uh, people who work in a business, because it's like that. It's you don't you have to remember that French people, it was a kingdom. France was kingdom before, so they have this level of like polite polite things to respect, like bonjour, au revoir, like hi, thank you, stuff like that. And if you put the efforts, they will be way more like kind. They will be way more like attentive to your to your regards if you need something extra or whatever, you know what I mean. And yeah, I know, like in US we give a lot of tips. Here it doesn't work like that. You can also, like, of course, give some tips, but like you have to understand that here the server, they have like a pay rate. They most of them, they have at least $12 euro in an hour. But of course you can give sometimes some tips. Um, so it's always a good thing to do. And yeah, other than that, avoid to, like, ask for, you can. I'm not saying, like, don't get me wrong, but like most of the people in Paris, they're gonna be in rush. They're gonna walk. They're gonna go to work. Blah blah blah. They will don't really have the time, um, to stop. You know, take some picture, answer your question, like where is this restaurant, blah blah blah. I'm not saying like every Parisian, but I'm telling you in general. Those are some generalities. All right. So I'm not trying to, like, scare you. I'm not trying to say like, yeah, you're gonna, you're not gonna have a fun here. No, it's not like. But I'm trying to give you the best advices. Then you can enjoy, your trip, your vacation here in Paris. All right. Thanks so much.